Season 3 of The Legend of Vox Machina just set up the arrival of the better version of Stranger Things Season 4 villain, highlighting the character's true nature from Dungeons & Dragons. The Legend of Vox Machina's Season 3 ending contained many new twists and turns for the titular group, including the consequences of Vax's, Liam O'Brien, successful attempt to resurrect Percy, Taliesin Yaffa, after his untimely death. However, the final scene of the season showcases how the true test of the group's might has only just begun, reviving an unsolved plotline from Season 1. Legend of Vox Machina's Season 3 finale reintroduced the Whispered One, the entity that Delilah Briarwood, Grey Griffin, attempted to summon in Season 1, but only appeared for a few moments. A spinning black orb took its place and remained in Whitestone until the very end of the most recent season. The final shot revealed cultists performing a ritual around the orb, allowing the being to manifest and ultimately reveal who it is, Vecna. This particular name, though, has already become well known, as Stranger Things also has a version of him, which in turn was inspired by his storied lore in Dungeons & Dragons. Stranger Things' version of Vecna is inspired by the Dungeons & Dragons villain of the same name, though the show's version is different from the one seen in both the tabletop and The Legend of Vox Machina. There are many Dungeons & Dragons references in Stranger Things, such as the Demogorgon, though many of the creatures in Hawkins are different from their tabletop counterparts. Vecna is no exception, as he is actually Henry Creel, Jamie Campbell Bower, the original child subject from Hawkins' lab, who was trapped in the Upside Down by 11, Millie Bobby Brown. Vecna in Dungeons & Dragons shares some similarities to Stranger Things' version, though his origins and powers are somewhat different. Vecna, aka the Whispered One, is an undead lich from Earth who ascended to godhood in Dungeons & Dragons, becoming a multiverse-spanning scourge. His powers also include paralysis and reality warping, and he can cast powerful offensive spells. The Whispered One also has a cult of worshippers, as seen in The Legend of Vox Machina. His abilities and many feats make him a formidable villain in Dungeons & Dragons, as well as a threat that Stranger Things' version may not live up to. Vecna is one of the greatest villains in the lore of Dungeons & Dragons, a fact The Legend of Vox Machina's Whispered One version may end up highlighting better than Stranger Things' version. Vecna, in Dungeons & Dragons' history, has died several times and returned stronger each time. He managed to steal several powerful artifacts, including one of the black obelisks of the Weavers, and his own power grew so much that parts of his own body became powerful relics, such as his iron left hand. The Legend of Vox Machina, by contrast, can showcase just how powerful Vecna truly is through this lore, demonstrating why he is such an iconic villain as they face off against him in Season 4. Stranger Things' Vecna is powerful, but he is also limited. He has similar abilities to 11, and though he has a stronger grasp of them, it still leaves both sides somewhat evenly matched. Not only that, but this version of Vecna will not be able to be resurrected as the series nears its final season, undercutting his power and the threat he poses. The Legend of Vox Machina, by contrast, can showcase just how powerful the Whispered One truly is through this lore, demonstrating why he is such an iconic villain as they face off against him in Season 4.